It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in Philadelphia. Hello, everybody. I'm MadDog the Scipio. This is America's Podcast, What's the Buzz? And I'm going to tell you what, if you were with us last night, we had one hell of a show. Hell of a show. We had one of the country's foremost Frank Sinatra tribute artists and his Rat Pack show, Tony Sands. What a great guy. And I'll tell you what, if you get a chance to see Tony Sands and the Rat Pack together again, by all means, tell them the Mad Dog sent you. We got a very, very special show tonight. It's going to be special anyway, even though a really pretty lady decided to take a powder. That's okay. We're gonna give her a pass because she's the doctor's wife. Let me introduce everybody to a guy who I actually met, and you guys heard me talk about my ordeal in the hospital. I didn't want to be there, but I had to. And as it turns out, they were the best people, the nicest people. I wanted to, and certainly the most skilled people to take care of my issues. Boy, I'm going to tell you what. This is Dr. Adam Weaver. He is I'm going to tell a little bit about Dr. Weaver. He is an attending physician at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital in Washington Township, New Jersey. That is where the good doctor and I met, and I was the patient, and he was still the doctor, and I'm still the patient, and he's still the doctor. Doc, how you doing, Adam?
I am terrific, Mad Dog. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and privilege to be on the show. I know that whenever we did meet, you talked all about it, and I was really excited to be able to tune in, and especially when you decided to invite me on. So I'm thankful that I haven't broken anyone's cameras or screens out there.
No, that's my job, Adam. I'm the guy that's got a face for radio. Remember that, brother. Oh, man. Oh, we already got people in our chat room tonight. Hot damn. Ruffian. No, you didn't miss nothing, Ruffian. We're just laying in with the doctor. Leon is here at midnight in London. You're right. Absolutely right, Leon. It is midnight in London. I digress, my friends, across the ocean. The pond. Excuse me, Leon. I'm sorry. They call it the pond. But we have, I wanted to tell everybody, we have a couple of new stations with us. Talked about them last night. K-Pop in Seoul, South Korea is with us. I am thrilled to have K-Pop there, the number one station in Seoul, South Korea. And QWP in Palermo, Sicily. And if you ask me to say the word Palermo again, I'm going to probably get whacked by somebody from Palermo. It's Palermo, they say. I called it Palermo, but it didn't. Don't ever say Palermo. It's Palermo. Okay, there you go. Anyway, doctor, you're a guy that I want to have on the show for a little bit, and one of the reasons is and if you know anything about me, and you and I shared a bit of my history, and good Lord, the ups and downs I went through with the medical system. Why is it so difficult, Doc, to get a doctor these days? Just to be straight up and honest with you, it's a real. I want to just tell everybody, you are the exception to the rule. You might be your own rule at this point.
Oh, well, I appreciate you saying that. So I guess first and foremost, I should at least say that, I myself am here just, as me, as Adam. So anything that I say is, I guess you could say, my opinion rather than not necessarily of the institution. But honestly, and that's a little more of a disclaimer I kind of have to say. But I think truly the thing that separates, you talked about me being an exception to the rule, so to speak. I grew up in medicine because my mom's a doctor. And we came from a small town. I came from a small town in the middle of Pennsylvania. Everybody there knows each other. My mom is a hometown celebrity. When you walk through the grocery store, people say hi to her, and she knows her patients by name. She says hi to them. She talks to them. You treat people like people. And I think that's really, I think that we get lost in the system now with technology and with, patient census being high. People are living longer, more numerous. You're asked to see, more and more patients every single day. And with the, as beneficial as things like technology is, the efficiency has made us focus on efficiency rather than really
Mhm.
caring for patients. So I think that what to answer your question,
Mhm.
I think it's hard because we get bogged down so much in trying to be efficient with the way that the system is designed and rewarded in some ways. Sometimes we lose the humanity of it all and we lose the care part of healthcare. So I try to be cognizant of that.
Boy, is that a mouthful, brother. Oh my God. I am so glad we got that on video. Wow. Losing the care in healthcare. Let's talk about that. It was once upon a time, because I am of the once upon a time age. That's where I live in my world. I'm 66. And everything was once upon a time. And there was a once upon a time that doctors actually came to your home and took care of you right where you were in your bed or on your couch or
Mhm.
in your easy chair. Doctors would come to the house, uh, and sadly, big medicine and big pharma put a kibosh to that back in the
Mhm.
1970s and 80s.
Mhm.
Probably past 1974, you were lucky to see a doctor leaving his office to go to anyone's house, um, let alone to treat them. But I want to talk a little bit about that because when that was once upon a time, prices were down, the cost of medicine was down,
Mhm.
the cost of healthcare was down.
Mhm.
You take that one element out of that equation and it upsets the entire apple cart. Talk about the proverbial monkey wrench in the wheel.
Mhm.
Big Pharma found a way to milk everybody, including hospitals, doctors, and patients. Big Pharma doesn't care who you are; they're
Yeah.
going to squeeze a nickel out of you.
Yeah. I think to your point, I think what gets discouraging and frustrating about working, I work specifically in a hospital, but my mother is a primary care physician that works in an office or actually multiple offices. And although the acuity is different, like I would hope that no one is dying in my mom's office because that means they should be where I work, in the
Yeah,
hospital. But it's
exactly.
frustrating because um, when I was growing up, when we all were growing up, we were kids and we look at what we want to be when we get older. And, I said to myself, I want to be a doctor because I want to help people. And I truly want to help people. And it can be frustrating sometimes when there's a middleman involved in dictating what I can and can't get for my patients. So there will be times
Yeah,
when, like you mentioned, the big pharma companies, I usually when I talk to my patients, when I'm ordering medicines for them, not necessarily while they're in the hospital, but when it comes time to when they leave the hospital,
yeah,
I usually say it's like, well, you can have something be good, you can have something be new, and it can work well. And unfortunately, if that happens, then oftentimes it costs a lot of money. And drug companies are incentivized to produce new therapies that work well, but they can charge a very pretty penny for them. And insurance companies dictate whether or not they want to pay.
Adam. When did that become a thing? When did that actually become a thing that the incentivization of medicine? When did the profit margin take precedent over the care of the patient? Do
Well,
you
I'll
can
be honest,
you
it was probably
kind of
before my time.
I was
And
going to say, can you is there a way to kind of like position yourself to where you think it might have happened?
honestly, it's kind of hard for me to honestly say. I wouldn't want to. I don't know that I know enough about it to have a really good opinion of it.
That's
I guess
fair
I
enough.
can just say though that I guess I can say that I was surprised, because I try to be just a caring person. I try to treat my patients like my family. I really
Right.
do mean that when I introduce myself and take care of patients, and I always try to
Yeah.
envision myself or my loved ones in their shoes. And so
Hmm.
when I became a doctor, I was honestly surprised that there were barriers to what I consider just to be doing the right thing. And so I try to be a good cog in an otherwise kind of interesting machine. And I don't mean the
Yeah.
institution like where I work. I'm very happy where I work with. I have great people that help me. Our administrators are very supportive. Our
Sure.
social workers and case managers always go the extra mile to help patients in any way they can. So I'm actually, I think, very blessed where I work. But I think
Yeah.
in the greater sense of like the entire machine,
Yeah.
nation, arguably worldwide, I think there's like a
Well, I'll tell you what, Adam, you are a very not only lucky person, but a very blessed person because your situation is the anomaly in medicine.
Mhm,
That entire hospital system is a well-oiled machine, and it's not singular to your location. The entire Jefferson Health System
mhm,
is a well-oiled machine
mhm.
from their smallest urgent care facility to their mega hospitals in big cities.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing and they hire only the best, and I'm very fortunate that I was among those to get the services of Dr. Adam Weaver. And I just leave it to Weaver, or in fact, ladies and gentlemen, he's the Dapper Dio. So there you go. I love that. Where'd you come up with the Dapper Dio?
A couple of years ago, I always like to dress up for work in some suits and ties. Oh, my cat decided to join me.
Oh,
Um,
hello, Cat.
and so I usually am one of the better dressed doctors. Someone coined the phrase, "Oh, you're so dapper. You're the Dapper Do." I was like, "Oh, that really stuck." So I really like that.
Right. When I saw you were in scrubs. Yep, you were.
That's
Um,
true. That's true. Though
yeah,
whenever I was taking care of you, most days I was in scrubs, but I try to dress up a little more when I'm not on such long stretches.
yeah, yeah. You guys were. You told me, and in fact, you told me and my wife when we were leaving a couple of days before we left. You work a week on, a week off, and 12-hour days at a stretch.
Generally, the
Can
way that
you
our
tell me like how you're able to like function after
Sure.
that?
Sure. Well, I started my medical training through COVID, believe it or not. So
I believe it.
when I was an intern, I had just graduated from medical school, started my internal medicine residency, and about 2, 3 months in, all of a sudden this mystery illness started to appear that wasn't that bad at first, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden people got really sick really fast. And
yeah,
then for the remaining couple of years, I mean, for sadly I saw probably more death and
yeah.
dying in the hospital than in 3 years than a lot of doctors have maybe seen in their entire careers.
Oh, sure.
But it taught me, you had to work. So, as a
Yeah,
resident, I was there 6 days a week from 7 to 7, and on the sixth day of the week was always a 24-hour shift. So you did 24 hours straight, and you had one day off, and then you just did that again over and over
yeah.
again for 3 years. And
Just
I just kind
repeat
of
the
never stopped.
cycle.
Yeah, and I never stopped that as an attending.
Yeah,
I continue to work just as hard, and so you're contractually I'm obligated. Yeah, 7 days on, 7 days off. But I personally will work on my off days to grind down on those student loan payments and mortgage a little faster. So
right.
yeah, and in like September, for example, I did 19 days and 12 nights. I had
Wow. Holy
two,
crap.
yeah, 2 days off in September, and yesterday was my first day off in 23 days.
Wow. Doc Leon, our friend in Leon, he's one of our regulars, comes in here and bugs us every now and then. I love you, Leon. He wants to know why insurance companies won't pay for physical therapy. Shouldn't there be an incentive for them to do so? Why won't they? I'm very fortunate. My insurance company pays for my PT.
Mhm.
But why will so many insurance companies pass that over? What are they looking at that I'm not seeing?
Well, I'm not an insurance expert and I'm not a social worker, so it's a little bit outside of my domain to honestly answer. But I will say that a lot of times the way that it helps me when dealing with my patients and talk, and I've had what we call peer-to-peer evaluations where I actually have to call a doctor that works for an insurance company, and I have to
Mhm.
make the case for why my patient, needs this. And so
Yeah,
a lot of times it's predicated on a patient's necessity and what the insurance company will think a patient needs, which to me is
Mm-hmm.
so foreign because I'm the person sitting there
Yeah.
at the bedside talking to
Yeah.
my patient, and a person from the insurance company is like theoretically at a desk somewhere that's never even touched the patient. But
Yeah. Well,
um,
the procedure that I had, Doc.
mhm,
It's a major procedure with some very serious inherent risk.
mhm,
Um, I'm fortunate that Dr. Sarzur, and I love this man, Dr. Heknak Sarzur. If you're out there listening, Doc, I love you, and you did a great job on my neck. And I'm starting to feel some feeling back again. But Dr. Sarzur had to make the case for me for physical therapy because they were not in and of their own accord going to recommend PT. Do
mhm.
you find that unusual? Or is that par for the course?
I mean, I personally do. I think it's ridiculous that a person, if I may, I first of all, may I speak about the care that you received from me in the hospital? Is it okay that I
Yeah,
you and your
please.
viewers?
That's
Okay,
why you're here. I wanted to show you off a little
gotcha,
bit.
gotcha. Well, of course, I want to protect your confidentiality as my prior
Well, you
former
don't
patient.
have to. I'm all over the world. Everybody knows my
Um,
shit.
well, I mean, you had a massive surgery on your neck, and we all try to avoid like complications and downstream effects of surgery, and so one of the most important things after any major procedure like that is physical therapy. And
Mhm.
it's not specific to the osteopathic profession, but a keystone and cornerstone of the osteopathic phenomenon that I learned as a medical student and as a doctor. If you give the body what it needs, it will be okay. And if
Yeah.
you do what's natural for the body will respond in kind, and you'll be a healthier,
Yeah.
happier person. So to me, surgery
Absolutely.
and physical therapy go hand in hand. And I can't imagine a world where it's, oh, you had a massive surgery, but we're not going to pay to keep you well after the fact.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I had my physical therapy today. As a matter of fact, I go every Tuesday and Thursday. And I'm gonna tell you something. At my age, you would think I'd be used to all kinds of pain. I'm feeling pain I never felt before.
Mhm.
I got body parts I didn't know I had, Doc. I'm serious. It hurts when they start, twisting you and moving and stuff
Mhm.
around it
Mhm.
that you don't think's supposed to move.
Yeah,
But
it's
lo and
counterintuitive.
behold,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
counterintuitive because your body says, "Ouch, don't do that," but you have to do it.
yeah. Well, they did. Trust me, Adam. They did. They moved this old man around pretty good. Um, One of the things that we talk a lot about on this show, and I got a lot of disgruntled people who come on and gripe and complain about big pharma, big insurance, doctors that are in it for the profit margin. It used to, first of all, I never, and I mean this with my hand to the heavens, I've never met a poor doctor. Never.
Mhm.
It's if you're a doctor and you don't have at least 500K stashed somewhere,
Mhm.
you're doing something wrong, or you're maybe doing something very, very right.
Mhm.
So let's talk about why, what propagates doctors to pull this kind of cash.
Mhm. I think, well, I'm not sure how other people view it, but for me, I think it's a sense of perhaps delayed gratification.
Okay.
You do 13 years worth of like postgraduate schooling. You go through
Right.
college, you go through, well, from high school to college, college to medical school to residency, theoretically residency to fellowship, and then you're finally attending physician. So for
And
me,
that's all part of schooling.
mhm, and
And
you
people
get,
don't realize that. They
yeah.
think that if you're a resident or an intern in the hospital, that you've already graduated.
Mhm.
There's a very good chance you could do your residency and still, get pulled out or yanked out of med school.
Well,
It's
medical school,
happened.
you finish after 4 years of medical school, and then depending upon the residency you choose, I mean, mine in internal medicine was 3 years.
Yeah.
You're now, when you graduate from medical school, you're a doctor. You are considered a doctor, but your residency is when you're still doing additional training. And then once you're finished with your residency, there are still choices to make. I myself debated on whether or not I wanted to go further in my training to be a cardiologist, for example. I had wanted
Mhm.
to do that at one point in my life, but I enjoy hospital medicine. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at it,
You're very good at it.
and
You
while I
have a
like
way
the
with
lifestyle.
patience, and that's why, and I think that's why, and I'm very, very blessed that God put me in the place He did, because Dr. Adam Weaver has a way of kind of easing your anxiety. You remember the first time you came in,
Mhm,
I was a little nervous. I was asking a thousand questions
mhm.
about this surgery. Is it safe? Am I going to be okay? And blah 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 blah. And my wife and I were both concerned. And he says, and I quote, "Leave it to Weaver." And that's what you said. Leave it to Weaver. So talk to me about the gift, your gift, it's a spiritual gift you have to be
Mhm,
able to take care of people.
mhm.
When did you know that you had that, like, that intangible quality to be able to settle people's anxiety and to explain to them? And this is the hardest thing to do, to explain to a lay person when you're used to talking in medicalese all day.
Mhm.
So walk me through that,
Sure.
Adam. And you and I have never had that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah,
Now we've
well,
had some deep conversations in the hospital,
mhm.
but we never talked about this.
Yeah,
So I'm going to shut up for a while, and I want to let you
sure.
kind of tell the audience.
Yeah,
Um,
well, it's
yeah.
hard to teach empathy, but empathy is a quality that every good doctor should possess. And we as physicians, we all want what's best for our patients, but I truly think that it's about meeting patients where they are and coming down to their level or moving up to their level of understanding and really trying to, again, visualize yourself in your patient's shoes, or or to think about, if that really was your loved one lying there in that bed,
Mhm.
what would you want them to think, or how would you want them to feel? And it's not really a skill that you can teach or fine tune from a book.
Mhm.
You can't really teach how to be a kind person. I'm a spiritual person. I happen to be a Christian. I don't push my
Mhm.
faith on my patients per se, but I I'm a believer that if you show your patients love and care and compassion, that no matter how sick people are, you still have some level of like you said, putting the care in
Yeah.
healthcare, really holding your patient's hand, saying a prayer for them if they want to, talking to their loved ones, calling their families,
Yeah.
doing things that make your patients aware that you really do give a crap about them.
Yeah, today it's so funny, and I don't mean funny, haha. I mean it's funny, strange that a lot of times going to offer to say a prayer with somebody will get you punched in the face in some places. It's a very strange thing. You've been very, very fortunate. Have you ever had somebody say, no, thank you, but no, thank you?
I have, yeah,
How do you respond to that?
I just say, okay, and then, I hope I don't mean to offend anybody. Of course, we all have different beliefs and ideologies. Like I said,
Sure.
it's never my intention to push my faith upon a patient. But the overwhelming majority of patients, regardless of different faiths or backgrounds, that's something that I don't think many doctors appeal to in their patients. When you talk about someone being, treated differently, you wouldn't believe the number of patients that have gone wide-eyed when I've said that and said, "Wait a minute, my doctor just offered to pray with me?"
My wife said the same thing. She said, I've never seen a doctor offer to hold your hand and pray with you. I went, you know what? I was in that hospital, in that room, on your floor
Mm-hmm.
for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
For 9 long days, Adam. It was a long time, man. I was eating nothing but God help me, bland food. I lost weight, though. I came out of that hospital 165 pounds
Mm-hmm.
in fighting shape.
Yeah. I think, Angie, I think it's important for us to remember that when you're the one in that bed, you are really scared. That, to me, like today's just another Tuesday for me in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I trained through, like I said, I trained through COVID. I'm not sure how much time we'll have this evening, but I can definitely tell you some stories where I really felt that I walked with God in those hallways in some of the darkest
Mm-hmm.
times of my life that I hope to never have to live through anything like that ever again. Uh,
Yeah.
and it taught me a lot about humanity. And when my patients are in those beds, I mean, you're literally scared for your life. And until you're in that situation, you don't know how you're going to act or think or
Yeah.
feel. You know, I knew with absolute confidence through your procedure and everything that you were going to be just fine. I had full faith and confidence, and never once for a minute did I think anything was ever going to not be okay. But you didn't know that
Yeah.
sitting in that
No,
bed.
but it didn't hurt, though, to have Dr. Hekmat Sazur, who is like the number 2 guy in the country. If he's number 2, as good as he is, I want to know who the hell number 1 is. Where's that cat practicing? Damn. Well,
Yeah, he's
doctor,
amazing.
this is, and I want people to understand the surgery that I had is called a cervical laminectomy. It's literally where they go into the back of your neck, into your spinal column. Then basically, am I explaining this right, Doc?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the spinal column erodes away?
So, well, you had, if I remember correctly, and I didn't dig up your record, but it's been a while. You had severe spinal stenosis.
Yes, there
and,
you go. Yep,
and that's narrowing of the spinal cord.
that was it.
It's caused by the covering called the lamina. That's what that is, the lamina. So when we say laminectomy, we're exposing that spinal cord. I'm not a neurosurgeon, so you'll have to excuse our neurosurgeon.
Well, you're doing pretty good so far, Adam.
But so it's ultimately the goal is to decompress the spinal cord.
And so what they do is they cut out a section of bone, probably about 3 inches, 3 or 4 inches on one side, maybe the same on the other. They take that out to relieve the pressure. Is that the deal?
Yep.
Okay. And so when that is done, just to give everybody kind of an idea of what I went through, Dr. Sarzer then took some apparatus and started to put things together with little, basically a screwdriver and screws and some metal. I got a child's erector set in my neck. That's why I feel very playful all of a sudden. But I'll tell you what, man, I don't care at any age, but the older you get, like I said, I'm 66. Thank you, God, that I don't look it and I don't feel it and I don't act it, but my body knows it, brother. My body knows, hey, you're an old man. You better knock it off. And, but I'm very fortunate that I don't have the issues that a lot of people have with that procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is it about? There's always something unknown in any surgical procedure.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that, it could go this way, could go that way,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the odds are very much in your favor, and sometimes you're lucky to break even.
Yeah. There are a variety of things that we consider before we even offer procedures for patients.
Well, therein lies the question, and you segued perfectly into it. Here's the question. So to make fullness of this, what are the red flags, the warning signals, the flashing lights that tell the surgeon, stop what you're doing, take a step back and rethink this here for a second? Because sometimes it happens when you got somebody opened up.
Right. Well, so I'm glad you brought this up, because when we talk about things that, when patients aren't offered things, right? Or we talked about insurance companies not wanting to pay for certain things. It's not always, it is, I'll say it's not always the insurance company either. As a doctor, right? I'm responsible for everything I do for you and to you.
Yeah.
I put my license on the line every single day that I walk in and every patient interaction I have. So it's up to us as doctors to be educators to our patients and to inform them about all the risks associated with these things. Any medicine you take, anything that's put into you or done to your body, I take that responsibility very seriously, because
Oh my God, absolutely.
well, because patients, I mean, now we have access to, information in our fingertips, right? And Dr. Google seems to know everything. And who knows how long I'll have a job with the advent of AI coming. But there are risk factors that put patients in jeopardy for poor wound healing, for intraoperative procedures. When you had your procedure, I actually had to tell the surgeons that I thought it was okay that you have the procedure. We look at cardiovascular risk factors, prior, medical conditions, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, age, functional status, cardiovascular health. We look at all these different things. And these are conversations that you were never privy to.
Right.
Sure. Conversations that I had with
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you, as a physician, the things that you have to consider. And of course, you're not going to tell me, because the last thing you want to do to a patient is make them worry even more than they are already. So in that regard, I'm glad that I wasn't privy to that conversation. So as my attending, because you're seeing me every day for the week that you're there. And then when you're not there, there's somebody else that's going to see me for the other 4 days that you're not there. And so do you and the other doctor get together and then come up with a game plan for the surgeon and say, okay, Dr. Sozor, you're the chief here. You're like the number one guy here. So here's what we think.
Right.
And
every patient
is want with it.
Yeah, every patient is different. We're not cookie cutters. We have to use, the information at our disposal with every single patient, every single time, and every person is different. So, if you had come to me and, you were 450 pounds, you never stepped foot outside of your office because you just sat in your computer chair or your couch or your bed all day. You have high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney problems, heart failure, high cholesterol. You eat, pizzas and French fries every meal, and you smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Oh my God.
You're a person that would probably not benefit from the surgery, even if you wanted it really badly. And it's funny because I hear a lot of
that sounds like a guy that can't get out of bed, man.
Well, you'd be surprised though that one of the things about you that made you special too is, you're going to benefit from this. You have an active lifestyle. You want to get back to doing things that you enjoy doing. And that's enough motivation to say, I'm going to do what I have to do to get through this procedure and all the physical therapy and everything else that, takes place.
Well, during was there anything, I'll ask out, because like I said, I share everything with my audience, and they know me better than I do sometimes. Was there anything about my physiology or my history or my medical makeup that could have prevented that surgery from happening?
In you specifically, no. You're actually, you don't let this go to your head, but you're actually remarkably healthy for, you said 66?
Yeah.
67? Yeah, you're remarkably healthy, young.
66, Doc. Don't push the 7 on me yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, so, but these are all things that we consider.
I still love you, kid.
Well, I say, well, it's easy for me to remember because don't fall out of your chair, but I'm going to be turning 33 in a couple weeks.
33. He's half my age, okay? He's half my age and twice as smart.
I
love that.
I get Doogie Howser a lot at the hospital.
Yeah, no, I thought you were Dr. McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy.
I get that sometimes. Thank you for that.
Yeah. There is another Weaver that we need to talk about. Rebecca Weaver, also known as Rebecca Raines. I want to talk about your wife, who was supposed to be here tonight.
Sure.
But she is actually filming and doing some modeling. And the doc, this is another reason that you should be jealous of this guy. He's married to a beautiful, very leggy, tall starlet, okay? So eat your heart out, you pricks out there. Eat your heart out. She's actually doing a movie tonight called Pony. They're still filming. Now, let me tell everybody about this film. It's supposed to be, and I've heard two stories about this. They say it's based on a true story, and then other people say it's completely fictitious. So I don't know what the story is. Do you know, Doc, whether this is a true to life story?
I heard it was true, but I honestly don't know 100%. So I don't know. I want to believe it's true.
So how did Rebecca get involved in the becoming a member of the cast?
So it's a great question, and it's quite serendipitous. So my wife has always wanted to be on the big screen. Ever since she was a little girl, she said she always wanted to act in movies. She always wanted to be an actress. And as
you have to tell our audience why.
Yeah,
who her mom is.
Yeah, so her mom worked for TriStar Pictures.
There you go.
Back in the day, yeah. So
she grew up in the movie business.
Yes, she did. And so she had done a lot of great work with modeling, and she even played video games professionally and became one of the best in the world at the game that she played. And that was a way of her getting on people's computer screens. But she always wanted to act on the big screen. So one of the photographers that worked with her on one of the video game sets that she was working on, or one of the projects she was working on, happened to meet her the one day and said, my friend is directing a movie and he's looking for a character or an actress to play one of the characters for one of the main sisters in the movie.
Yeah.
And you look like the spitting image of the description that he wants. So, you could, if you want, you should audition for this movie. You're like a shoo-in as the person that fits the role.
Right.
So lo and behold, she inquired a little bit more about it. And then it's funny, the director ended up, or one of the producers, I forget exactly who it was, emailed her like the day the audition was finalized, and they were like, hey, if you want to do this, like, you have to get this audition in. And I remember she was at some photo shoot, like she was shooting all day. She got home late at night. She had she had a million different irons in the fire. And she was just all over the place, but she was like, yeah, sure, I'll get it in. So I remember at like 10 o'clock at night, we had to do this script read through, and I had to be the other sister, and she was reading the one sister's parts. So here we were sitting there reading through the script. And she sent in her audition recording. And at like 1 o'clock in the morning, not even a couple hours after she had sent in her tape, the director emailed her and said, you got the part.
That's remarkable. I love stories like that.
It was awesome.
Now, a little birdie whispered in my ear that I think there might be a part for you in this picture. How did you become part of this movie?
Yeah, this is true too, technically. So it's funny you say like that I look like McDreamy. Once in a while ago, I had thought, maybe I'd try my hand at it too, but I never really envisioned myself.
The actor's name is Patrick Dempsey, for you guys, the Grey's Anatomy people out there, and there's a lot of you. Oh boy. So yeah, so you get that once in a while that you look like Patrick Dempsey from Grey's.
I have heard that. I'm very flattered. So I had wanted to dabble in it, but it was never really something that I thought would ever really come to fruition because I was so busy with medical school and becoming a doctor.
Right.
But it's kind of fun. Also, I'm a little vertically challenged, so it's kind of hard, with that too.
Yeah.
But the director approached me and said, we have these scenes. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, but we have some scenes in a hospital where one of the characters ends up getting into a coma, and I don't really love the way the scene is written. And so, my wife said to the director, she goes, well, my husband's actually a doctor in the hospital, and he could help you rewrite those scenes if you wanted
Right.
to. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to. So I rewrote the scenes, and he really liked it. He thought, I guess I did a good job. And he said, well, I don't have a doctor to play the doctor.
Right.
So
I said, the other thing about this picture that's, again, serendipitous, absolutely. Timing is always of the essence in show business, or actually in most situations. Funny how things worked out, because I'm going to tell a story tomorrow night on the show. But tonight we're going to talk about the Pony movie and how basically, now this movie started 2 years ago and had some production problems. It had some ego problems from some cast members that are no longer with the film. They've been recast. Your wife is now in the movie. She now has a major role in this film that some other dumb actress was stupid enough to screw up. So enter Rebecca Raines into the picture. But Pony was basically, her name is Pony Marchetti. She's a female race car driver, and she has a sister who, lo and behold, is a race car driver. These two girls grew up kind of like playing race car with each other. And this clip you're going to see right now is in short form what the film is about. But then I'm going to let it roll because there's a beautiful music video that goes with it. I'm going to let everybody take a look at this. So let's sit back and watch this from Pony. This is the trailer, the official trailer of the Pony movie.
Guess you could say my sister and I were race car drivers since the day we were born. If there was dirt and toy cars, we would be there for hours and hours. As the years went by, the cars got faster and bigger and more dangerous. My father launched Marchetti Racing. Amanda earned the name The Lioness from being such a focused and fierce competitor. As for me, well, they say I'm the queen of dirt, but I will always be remembered by my birth name, Pony.
Gotta get up and go, no matter the road. Gotta keep your head held high. Gotta keep on praying, keep on slaying. Gotta keep that pretty smile. But she's ready to battle, gonna take that enemy down. She fears no evil and holding her ground. She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier, she ain't gonna lose this round. She is a warrior, yeah.
Amanda Marchetti slams the wall, the car flips upside down, the red flag comes out, and Amanda's in serious trouble right now.
She's gonna train her mind, gotta keep her in line, keep her eyes on the Lord. She's ready to battle, ready to battle. Gonna take that in a midtown. She feels the river and holds in her ground. She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier, she ain't gonna lose this round. She is a warrior.
You are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you ever imagined. So embrace the struggle and know that with each step, you are becoming the person God created you to be, a warrior.
His love crosses the great divide. Yeah, His love gives you eyes to hide in His wings, gives you strength to fly. Yeah, His love changes me.
She's back. The Queen of Dirt is back.
She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier, she ain't gonna lose this round. She is a warrior, she is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, she ain't gonna lose this round.
That was Pony, the official trailer of the Pony movie. Adam, have you ever seen that before?
So I have seen that once or twice. Yes.
Okay. We have a question from El Ruffian says, was this made with AI? I see some weird. No, it wasn't AI, Ruff. It was all shot direct on digital video. And I know these locations, this film wasn't shot entirely in location here in New Jersey at the Bridgeport Speedway was location number 1, and New Egypt Raceway, location number 2. You'll notice various places shown in the film: Swedesboro, Bridgeport. Of course, they're within the doc, and I live within minutes of all of these places.
Yeah, and MadDog, actually, I think there might be a slight correction. With the casting changes that had been made, some of those shots actually in the trailer, I think, were AI generated as they were changing cast members.
Oh, were they? Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't.
Yeah, so there might be a couple, but there's another trailer that's going to be released now that the casting has finalized, and it's going to be, I guess you could say, like the new and improved, like trailer 2.0. So it's coming.
I have that. Do you want to take a look at it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, here you go. Special shout out Yeah, have you seen that before?
Yeah, that one was the one I was thinking of.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I got them both. I'm glad we got them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I want to, before I forget, and I have to do this. It's really, really important. Shout out to Bridgeport Raceway, to New Egypt Raceway for the use of their clips. Also, big, huge shout out to John A. for the use of his music in this film. And John, I will give you a holler if you're out there watching. If not, I'm going to make sure Doc to give you a link to the show. I'd like to have you back on, you stinker. I'll get a hold of you sometime soon, John. So let's talk about this. Do you have any idea when we, the viewer, might actually see the finished product here?
That's a great question. Admittedly, I don't know, because outside of writing and kind of being a glorified chauffeur for the star, I don't have a whole lot of involvement with the process.
Now, Doc, I'm sorry, I want to interrupt you because that's really important. I want to make sure that we give Rebecca credit. Her name in the film is Amanda.
That's correct. She's Amanda Marchetti. She's the older sister.
Yeah, the sister.
She is the lioness. She's the champion racer that teaches Pony how to race. And the two sisters are champion racers before they even move into New Jersey, and they come in and just clean everybody's clock.
Yeah. And as I said, the film was shot entirely on location in the state of New Jersey, in and around New Jersey. It's not in some Pennsylvania locations, but we're very, very proud of this film because I think it's going to go. Here's my take on it, and see if you think I'm like maybe overreaching. But I think that this film has got so much juice in it and so much good energy. I think it's going to go from the glorified independent film to becoming a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to end up, not going straight to video. I think it's going to end up on a big screen somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see Rebecca on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, I admittedly, I guess I can say that I'm biased, but I also
better be. You're married to.
But I totally agree because I see the amount of production value it has. I see how many people are interested in it.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's funny you should mention like going around the country. If I can just take a quick aside, when Rebecca was studying for the role, she has never driven a race car before. And really wasn't supposed to drive the race car, but she went to a convention in Chicago and was for a racing simulator convention. And she started talking with one of the big foundations there named the 11010 Foundation or 11010 Project. They're a professional racing simulator company, and along with Simcraft is also who they're partnering with. But they said, "Oh my goodness, you're part of the Pony movie. Like we know that movie. Like we're really excited to see it. We can't wait until it comes out."
Yeah, right.
And so this is starting to spread all over the place. And I don't know that there are that many racing movies out there, with Formula One becoming really popular and the Formula One movie.
It's been a long time, Adam, since I've actually seen a racing movie of any substance.
Mm-hmm.
Other than and I'm going to give my age away. Some old Steve McQueen movies from back in the 1970s. But and you have to, if you're old enough to know who Steve McQueen is, then you know. If you know how, like they say on Facebook, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do one thing. It's really important because my co-host Amelia Chapman is in the chat room tonight, and Amelia is going to be on the sideline for a little bit. She just became a grandmom.
Oh, congratulations!
And so, she's doing the grandmommy thing, and so she 11 pounds. Amelia, stop feeding. She's a big kid. 11 pounds. I got a doctor here. You need me? I could send you his number. He'll go to Florida. Him and his wife like Florida.
Sure.
Anyway, listen, Amelia, take care of yourself. I'll see you when I see you. Give me a holler when you're ready to come back, and because she's got a lot of stuff going on right now. Amelia lost her husband a few months back. Right after her husband passed, her daughter had a baby. So God took one and gave another. So, and I believe that's how it works. I really do. I really
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. He was at Jeff Chapman. The God rest his soul. Was a good guy. So let's talk about you, Adam. What do you like to do for fun? What does a doctor on the go do for fun these days?
Well, so my guilty pleasure is video gaming. So I enjoy playing video games, but it's not like just your usual Xbox thing. I have a whole big setup in my basement. Funny enough, that's where I got Rebecca a bunch of racing gear so that she could learn on the simulator that I was going to build for her. And then she went to this convention.
Back up there, Weaver. Back up there. You were going to build your wife a simulator?
Well, the computers nowadays, they have all kinds of stuff that they link up. So they have racing wheels and pedals and shifters.
Really?
And oh, yeah. It's crazy.
What are they like? They plug and play and just like...
Well, the one that I was going to buy is kind of plug and play. But when she went to this convention and she ended up becoming a brand ambassador, I mean, these are $150,000 rigs with hydraulics, and it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, for real.
They're going to plop one in our house eventually, and she's going to learn on it. So that's what I'm probably going to do for fun is hijack her simulator and drive race cars in our living room.
Steal your wife's shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Adam, promote anything you wish to promote, my friend. Anything that'll promote your social media, promote your wife, promote the movie.
Gotcha.
Anything you want. Well,
I would be remiss if I didn't promote her in her stead while she was unable to be here for filming. So my wife is Rebecca Rains. And then her Instagram right now and her other social media profiles, it's actually Queen_Pounsalot. And Pounsalot is an interesting spelling. It's PWNZALOT. But she's going to be changing that soon to Rebecca Rains. And I want everyone to buy a ticket or 10 tickets to go see Pony, and make sure that you catch that whenever it comes out and keep following the development.
If you want to find it, easy enough. It's a very simple search. Just type in the Pony movie and it will all come up. That's how simple. But if My Little Pony comes up, disregard that because that's for kids.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not that.
Yeah, just disregard that. All right, folks. I have to go here. Oh my God. We go from the sublime to the crazy to the ridiculous on the show. We had an amazing tribute performer last night. Tony Sands doing his tribute to Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. Got a distinguished doctor on the show tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll go. I got to take my glasses off for this one. Oh, God. We're going down the rabbit hole, folks. Yep, we're going down the Charlie Kirk rabbit hole. Did Charlie Kirk die? Is he alive? Was it a setup? Was it a hologram? Did his wife... what did his wife do? Did his wife set him up? Is it really his wife? Is she a lookalike? Oh, my God. Shut up. You're making me crazy. This is what we're going to do tomorrow night, Amelia. Okay? You picked a real good time, Amelia, to take a powder on me, kid. So you better get your, by God, get your P's and Q's together soon because I need you back here. Because otherwise I got Angelo Capone on the show tomorrow night. I got, oh my God, who the hell else I got? I have Brandon Blinky on the show. That's his name if I'm not even making this up. Brandon Blinky on the show tomorrow night. I've got, oh God, who else I got? I might actually have Dr. Weaver come back if he's not busy. And if he is busy, he's missing out on all this shit. Anyway, I am happy to be back, folks. It's been way too long. We did our first show in 3 months yesterday. And I want to tell you what. I'm back with a vengeance, baby. Papa Bear is back. The Mad Dog is back in the saddle. Hot damn. Adam, you are a welcome guest on this show anytime, my friend. And I'm going to really open up your world of pop culture. I'm going to take you to a wrestling match sometime.
That would be great.
Show you my world.
I would love it.
I'm going to expose you to my world. You want to talk about some crazies that need to be in the hospital? Wrestling fans.
Sure.
On that note, folks, thanks for joining us. Be good to each other. Be kind. I have a doctor here who can validate these stats. It takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. And that's true. It takes more facial muscles to frown than it does to smile. Did you know that?
This is true.
It's true. He's a doctor. He don't lie. Okay? I hang around smart people, folks. So you guys don't know that shit yet. Okay? Adam, leave it to Weaver, man.
Yes,
He's
sir.
the dapper D.O. The dapper D.O. 4. What's the buzz for Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, even though she is with baby right now? Amelia, a shout out to you, kid. Take care of yourself. Be good. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Take care, guys. Good night.